In this video, we will explain absolutely everything you need to know to travel to Marrakech, the vibrant red city of Morocco. This is the definitive guide and the most complete video you will watch today about the destination where Arab and Berber culture create a magical atmosphere. The place where you can get lost in the labyrinths of millennial markets, smell the aroma of dozens of spices in the air, and rest in the luxurious silence of hidden palaces. We will cover everything from the logistics of how to leave the airport without falling for the taxi scam, how to choose the perfect accommodation in the middle of the chaos of the old city, and what is the secret to haggling in the markets without offending the sellers. We will also tell you about the vital requirement of travel insurance for North Africa, and where to taste the true mint tea served on the terraces at sunset. So let us get started. Marrakech is a city that attacks all your senses at once. It intimidates and fascinates with the constant noise of motorcycles, the vibrant colors of the ceramics, and the grandeur of Islamic architecture. It is an exotic, intense, and unforgettable destination that requires you to open your mind and heart to experience a culture completely different from ours. Now let us move on to logistics and planning. What is the best time to visit Marrakech? The best time by far is spring and autumn, specifically the months of March, April, May, September, and October. In these months, the weather is spectacular. The days are sunny and super pleasant for walking through the stone streets, and the nights are quite cool. Summer from June to August is the low season for tourists, and with good reason. The heat is absolutely relentless with thermometers easily passing 113 degrees Fahrenheit, which turns any midday tour into an almost impossible task. Winter from December to February has beautiful mild and sunny days, but the nights are surprisingly freezing, and you need to pay attention because many old mansions do not have modern heating systems. And how many days to stay? Many people make the mistake of just doing a quick weekend trip through the city. To see the basics, visit the main square, a palace, and the Blue Garden. 3 full days are enough. But to truly dive into the markets, take a traditional bath in a Moroccan spa and include a day trip to the Atlas Mountains or the Agafay Stone Desert. The ideal is 4 to 5 full days. Now let us talk about transportation and how to get around. To arrive, you will land at the beautiful and super modern Marrakech International Airport. To leave the airport, the #1 and most precious rule is to book a direct transfer with your accommodation in advance. Taxis at the airport usually charge extremely abusive amounts to newly arrived tourists, and normal cars cannot enter the narrow alleys of the old city. The driver from your hotel will meet you and help carry your bags in a handcart right to the door of your accommodation. To get around the city, if you stay in the old part, you will do absolutely everything on foot. The traffic of motorcycles, bicycles, and pack donkeys in the tiny alleys is chaotic, but it is part of the daily adventure. To go to the new and more distant neighborhoods, use official taxis, but always and firmly demand that the meter is turned on before starting the car or negotiate the exact price before closing the door. Do not rent a car under any circumstances to stay in Marrakech. It is a brutal stress, and there is nowhere to park in the historic center. Staying in a good region will define the style and peace of your trip. The first option, and the most authentic experience of all, is the Medina, the walled old city. The great magic here is sleeping in the famous riads. They are old palaces that have no windows facing the street, looking like mud walls, but when you open the door, you discover unbelievable luxury with open-air internal courtyards, water fountains, pools, and an absolute silence that contrasts with the madness outside. The second option is the Guelis neighborhood, built during the French Protectorate era. It is the modern area of the city with wide avenues, European designer stores, Parisian-style cafes, and giant international chain hotels. It is much less chaotic, but has less of the true Moroccan soul. The third option is the high neighborhood attached to the walls of the old city. It is the epicenter of Western luxury and excitement, full of wonderful 5-star resorts, casinos, and sumptuous high-end restaurants, ideal for those seeking maximum comfort and refined nightlife. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best region to stay. Staying in a good riad inside the Medina, you will have the best experience of your life. We will leave here on the screen code and in the video description the link to this exclusive map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and reliable options. We will also leave links to the hotels and riads we have already stayed at and approved. In all destinations, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located for those who want to save money, and another that is a little better in the same location, but a little more expensive with more comfort. These are great options tested by us. An important tip to save on accommodation is the advanced strategy. The best riads in Marrakech are very small. Many have only 5 or 6 beautiful rooms around the main courtyard. This means they sell out many months in advance. That is why we really like using this site we indicated. In addition to having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation with almost all hotels. You can book as soon as possible to guarantee a much lower price, and if you need to cancel later due to any change of plans, it is super easy and at no cost. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price on a single page. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as the international virtual cell phone chip to have internet in the alleys. Travel insurance with discount, which is fundamental in Africa. Tickets for the palaces and trips to the mountains. Good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry dollars paying lower fees. Save this page in your favorites. Now let us get to the main attractions with details you cannot miss. Attraction number 1 is Jama El Fana Square. It is the beating heart and the maddening soul of Marrakech. During the day, it is an immense open-air theater with snake charmers men with trained monkeys, musicians, and many giant orange juice stalls. At night, the entire square turns into a gigantic open-air restaurant with dozens of tents cooking meats on grills that fill the air with aromatic smoke and a lot of Berber music. It is loud and absolutely unmissable. Attraction number 2 is the Majorelle Garden. It is outside the walls of the Medina, in the modern part. The garden was created by a French painter and later bought by the legendary fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent. It is an oasis of rare plants and exotic cacti from all over the world, contrasting with fountains and mansions painted in a very strong and vibrant cobalt blue tone. It is the most photogenic place in the city. Right next door, take the opportunity to visit the wonderful fashion museum dedicated to the designer work. Attraction number 3 is the Bahia Palace. The word means brilliance or the most beautiful. Built at the end of the 19th century, it was made with the ambition of being the greatest palace of its time. The place is a masterpiece of Moroccan architecture with more than 150 empty rooms, immense courtyards lined with shiny marble hand-painted ceilings, and incredibly detailed mosaic-style tiles. Attraction number 4 is the Ben Youssef Madrasa. It is an ancient and gigantic Quranic school which was once the largest Islamic learning center in North Africa. The central courtyard houses a beautiful reflecting pool, and the walls are entirely carved in dark cedar wood, fine plaster, and impressive tiles. It is a very peaceful place to observe the precision of Islamic art. Attraction number 5 is the souks, the famous labyrinthine markets. They start just north of the Great Square. It is a tangle of narrow alleys covered by wooden roofs where absolutely everything is sold. There is the handmade rug street, the blacksmith square beating metal, the alley of colorful leather slippers called babouches, and dozens of shops with bright Arab lanterns. Getting lost around here without looking at the clock is the best attraction in the city. Attraction number 6 is the Koutoubia Mosque. It is the largest and most important mosque in Marrakech. Its square minaret, which is the main tower, is almost 230 feet high and can be seen from almost the entire city, serving as a compass for tourists who are lost in the Medina. People who are not of the Islamic religion are prohibited from entering the mosque, but walking through the rose gardens around it, listening to the beautiful call to prayer in the late afternoon, is a chilling experience. Attraction number 7 is the Saadian Tombs. It is a 16th century royal mausoleum that was sealed and hidden from the world for hundreds of years until it was rediscovered in the 20th century. The main room houses the tombs of ancient sultans under a breathtaking ceiling, carved with pure gold and supported by beautiful Italian marble columns. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for paid attractions passes for the gardens and guided tours in advance. The line for the Majorelle Garden and the Yves Saint Laurent Museum is monstrous, and they even stop selling tickets on the spot on very busy days. We will leave in the screen code and in the description the link to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the lowest price and with skip-the-line access very easily. Now let us move on to gastronomy. The food in Marrakech is rich, full of spices, and tailor-made to warm the soul. The king dish of the entire country is the tagine. The food takes the name of the beautiful clay pot with a cone-shaped lid where it is made. Our great recommendation is to try the lamb meat tagine cooked very slowly in its own steam with prunes, apricots, toasted almonds, and a touch of cinnamon. The meat falls off the bone, and the contrast of sweet and salty is divine. Moroccan couscous is the official Friday food. It is a gigantic platter made of steamed wheat semolina with mountains of whole vegetables and juicy meats on top, served with a separate broth. For the most courageous and luxurious palates, pastilla is an oven-baked pie with an extremely thin and crispy puff pastry. It is filled with seasoned chicken or pigeon meat, crushed almonds, and sprinkled with lots of powdered sugar and cinnamon on top, creating a wonderful exotic mixture. To drink, you will consume gallons of the ubiquitous mint tea, affectionately called Berber whiskey. Green tea is boiled with huge handfuls of fresh mint and plenty of sugar being poured from high above into small carved glass cups to create a foam on the surface. Quick and in-depth shopping tips. Shopping in the alleys of Marrakech is a true cultural art. The ultimate golden rule is to haggle a lot and always with a smile on your face. The first price the seller says is usually 3 to 4 times higher than the real value of the product. Offer a third and start the friendly negotiation. They love this game, and it is part of the culture. Buy wonderful, fluffy, handmade Berber rugs in the mountains, and do not worry, they vacuum pack them to fit in your suitcase. 100% pure argan oil is the liquid gold of Morocco, perfect for hair and skin. Avoid buying argan from generic street vendors. Look for larger specialized stores or women cooperatives in the mountains to ensure product purity. The pierced metal Arab lanterns and the colorful ceramics made of baked clay are cheap gifts that bring the magic of Marrakech straight to your living room. What to do at night? The city nightlife is very diverse and will depend on the neighborhood where you are. Inside the old city, the Islamic religion dictates the rules, and alcohol is very restricted in most places. The ideal program is to reserve a table on the terraces of the large restaurants around Jami' el-Fnay Square right before sunset. Eat slowly, smoke an apple hookah, and watch the wonderful chaos of the market lighting up below to the sound of drums drinking a sweet tea. In the modern neighborhoods of Hivernage and Guéliz, the story changes completely. Marrakech attracts European high society heavily and has spectacular nightclubs, casinos, and sumptuous restaurants like the famous Comptoir d'Or, which offer high-end gastronomy mixed with sensational belly dancing shows and very loud Arab music that last until dawn, washed down with lots of wine. And if you are traveling with kids, Marrakech is a visually intense destination for the little ones. They are usually fascinated by the explosion of colors of the fabrics and the magic of the snake charmers in the square. But the great safety challenge is in the market alleys where speeding motorcycles and donkey-drawn carts constantly brush past people. It is absolutely vital to hold small children by the hands at all times and keep them against the wall when you hear engines approaching. Outside the Medina, booking a quad bike tour or a camel ride through the palm groves on the outskirts of the city is usually the favorite and unforgettable adventure for any family. Mandatory documentation for international tourists and safety. Safety Morocco is a politically very stable country and safe against violent crimes. The big and real problem for tourists are scams, which are tiring. Never accept help from young men standing in the alleys who say the street you want to enter is closed today, or who spontaneously offer to show you the way. They will guide you through empty streets, take you to relative stores, and in the end, they will demand financial tips quite aggressively. Use an offline map app and politely ignore the fake guides by continuing to walk. For women, Marrakech is the most liberal city in the country, but wearing short or low-cut clothes attracts many stares and street comments. Opting for lighter linen clothes that cover shoulders and knees shows respect for local culture and brings much more peace of mind for walking. Visa. Most Western tourists have the huge advantage of not needing a visa for Morocco for tourist trips of up to 90 days, simply needing a passport valid for at least 6 months after the entry date. Travel insurance. Travel insurance is not inspected at Moroccan immigration, but it is hugely irresponsible to travel to Africa without it. Food poisoning due to the sudden change in water or very strong spices is incredibly common, the famous traveler stomach shock. The Moroccan public health system is very basic, and comfortable private clinics that treat tourists charge thousands of dollars for simple consultations. We never travel without it, and in the link in the description there is the comparator we always use to find the most complete one for half the price. And to combine your trip. Marrakech is the main starting point for incredible adventures through North Africa. The most famous route in the country is to book a 3-day tour, crossing the majestic and snowy High Atlas Mountains, passing by ancient clay kasbahs and castles, until reaching the gigantic orange sand dunes of the Sahara Desert, to sleep in tents under the stars. If you have less time and just want to see the ocean, the beautiful coastal city of Essaouira is only a 3-hour comfortable bus ride away, being very famous for the constant winds that attract surfers, for the old stone walls, facing the waves crashing on the rocks, and for having an infinitely more relaxing and calm beach aura than the Red City. If you liked this complete and deep guide about Marrakech, like the video, and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much, and have a safe trip.